Hello and welcome modelers, Boyd here with you again, and welcome to another edition of TrekWorks. Well, today we're doing an out-of-the-box review on the brand new Moebius Lost in Space lighting kit for the large-scale Jupiter 2 model that Moebius also puts out. Now this lighting kit was available a couple of years ago. It's been out of production for a few years, and due to popular demand they've re-released it. There are no changes that I can tell from the original lighting kit that they had, but what they've done is repackage this into a smaller box and changed some of the graphics on it a little bit. This kit's just been recently re-released. I want to thank my friend Jerry from over at HDA Modelworks for getting this kit over to me. And you can see when we turn it around here, there's some more box art on this. And there's a picture of an assembled model with the kit installed. It's a very, very nice kit. It's what they call a plug-and-play kit, which means most of the assembly work is done to this. There's very little assembly needed to complete it. It's all pre-wired, and there's an included power supply with it, which gives you a complete kit. Now what it features is you get all your lighting for the interior of the Jupiter 2, which includes the chiller tubes and some lighting here at the front you can see for the navigation and control helm. And then of course the really cool engine fusion core effect that we saw on the ship from the TV series, which features 3 different speeds that you can change with the push of a momentary push button switch, and also the spinning radar effect or flashing radar effect there that we had at the top at the little radar dome on the model. And it's a really, really nice setup. I've already had this out of the box and checked it out, but I thought I'd show it to you guys today. And what we'll do now is we'll take it out of the box and get it all laid out here on the modeler's mat, and we'll do a little operating of it and show you how it works. And you can get a better view of how the kit looks and what you can expect. And we'll also go over the very detailed and very, very professionally done, as always with Moebius, installation instructions for this. So let me get that all set up, guys. We'll be back in just a second and we'll show you all that. So stay tuned, everyone. Alright everyone, so what I've done now is I've removed the contents of the package here, and I've got the kit laid out on our little modeler's mat. And it might look like a confusing pile of octopus-like wires, but this is actually really, really straightforward and easy to understand, guys. There are only a couple of connections that you need to make. There's one here that you'll plug in on the bottom of the fusion core disc, and another one over here on the power switch. I'll show you the included. This also includes a power supply here, which is a 6-volt 1-amp unit. It's nice and small, and that plugs directly into this wiring harness. There's no assembly required at all on this. It's all pre-wired and pre-built. It's very high quality. You can see the different switches and things they have here are all made out of metal, and they're made to be mounted flush. You have a jam nut on each one of these, so you can mount those into something and then lock them in place. The power connector coming in here is really nice. It's a nice jack, and all the wiring here is pre-labeled and marked. These are all cut to the exact lengths that they should be for mounting inside the model, and again they're all marked. I'm going to show you the instruction sheet here really quick, and if you guys have built Moebius models, you guys are very familiar with it. Moebius does an outstanding job with their instruction sheets. They're always usually done in full color, and they're very easy to understand, and everything is laid out very, very well and very organized. You can see you start off here with basic modifications to the model. They give some drilling recommendations here, the sizes and the locations of the areas to be drilled out to mount the LEDs on the deck here, and on the landing gear struts, and on the bottom side. Just kind of going through this. You can see that that's all very clearly marked. There's a modification here that you do at the top section for the radar dome on the top, the radar dome assembly where the actual LEDs are installed, and a few other things like that. And in this section here they get into where you mount the control boards and how you route all of the wiring. Again, these are all pre-cut to the correct lengths and everything, so everything will fit into the model really nice. And you can see it starts to go farther and farther when you start to build up the model. But it's all very, very straightforward, and they give locations here where to mount your switches inside the landing bay ports, landing gear ports, so they're nice and hidden, which is really cool. And some shots of a model that has been finished, and some of the lighting that you can expect. Again, the lighting's all here. I'm going to turn this on now. You have a separate power switch here which just turns on the lighting, and your momentary switch over here is separate for activating the fusion core, which I'll do in just a second. But You can see that what you've got here is various groups of colored LEDs. Some of these are supposed to be located up at the flight control console at the front there by the main viewport of the model at the very front that we're all familiar with, and then the chiller tubes and all the different other areas of the ship, and there's some overhead lighting, which is just standard white LEDs and things like that. But you get everything you need to basically do all the ambient lighting in the model. You notice that none of these are flashing, and what we're going to be doing on our build here is when we get to building the Jupiter 2, we're going to use some separate flasher boards with some fiber optic that will allow us to add in some of the details of the flashing control circuits and things like that on the various parts of the model. And we'll get into that a little bit more when I actually get into building this. So I just wanted to show you the basic layout of this. Again, these are all tagged. You can see exactly where they all go. And everything is pre-assembled here, like I mentioned, just a couple of connections. Now I'll turn this back off. And it's nice that this is able to operate separately. Now here you see we have the fusion core, and this is really kind of the heart of the kit. This is a big round disc that's mounted on the bottom side of the model to give the engine effect that we're all familiar with from the show. And this separate little board here is located on the top on the radar dome. There are two LEDs there, and these flash at the same rate as the fusion core does. Now I'm going to go ahead and start this up for you, and you can see we get a sort of a nice power-up effect there. And it starts to rotate fairly slowly, and it's really, really nice. It's a nice effect, and with some diffusion and mounted inside that lower area there, it's going to look really, really nice. You can see that we have the two LEDs flashing that match the speed of the fusion core effect, and as we hit this button again, we get a nice speed up, which is kind of like the liftoff sequence that we saw where they're really applying full power. And then third one here is kind of the cruising speed. I guess that would be when they're cruising in space, and it just continues to do that. And then finally, the final push on the button will power it down. And what I like what it does is it doesn't just instantly shut off. It sort of stops and then fades out, which is nice. It looks like a more realistic power down here, so I'll hit that for you. And you can see how that works. And then you can just cycle back through the whole thing again if you want to. And we've got our full speed here. And back to cruising speed, I think that might be, or when it's landed or something like that. And then it powers down. So this is really, really nice, guys. And you can see this little radar dish thing here, radar dome, matches the speed of the fusion core. So it's really, really great. So, okay, guys. Well, that's going to be a wrap for our out-of-the-box review on our Moebius lighting kit for the 18-inch Jupiter 2. This is I'm really looking forward to building this one. So this kit's been re-released, as I mentioned at the opening, and it's great that it's out there again. And for those of you who are looking for a pre-built, easy to install kind of plug-and-play system, it's ideal for the Moebius Jupiter 2. All right, everybody, that's going to be a wrap. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with some more building action on the bench, and we'll see you then, guys. So until we talk to you next time, everyone, take care out there, and happy modeling, everyone.